Today, we are going to be looking at the reverse distributive property, or what we call factoring. So that's what we're going to be calling it, factoring. So last year, you talked about factors, and you talked about how to find the greatest common factor, or the GCF, that is your greatest common factor. Okay, so we're going to use that from last year, which you learned, to apply to our new concept. So to do that, we're going to review a little bit. What is the greatest common factor of 8 and 32? So last year you learned the slide method. So you draw a little bar, and we're going to slide something out of it. Well, some of you might just look at this and say, well, I know 8 goes into 32, so they share 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1 left over. 32 divided by 8 is 4 left over. 8 on this outside is our GCF. But some of you might have not seen that, and that's okay because we can do multiple slides. So if we have 8 and 32 again, what if I didn't see that and I just looked and said, these two are even? That means 2 goes into them. I'm going to slide out a 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 32 divided by 2 is 16. Well, 4 and 16 both are not simplified, so I can draw another row. I know they're both even, but I noticed that 4 goes into 16, so I'm going to pull out a 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now I'm left with the same thing on the bottom, but if we look at our side of our slide, I've got something different. If we have multiple numbers here, all we have to do is multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. So we still get 8 for our GCF, even if it took us a couple of rows. So either way works. Today, we're going to be factoring not just numbers, but expressions. So we're going to be factoring expressions. So if you want to pause it and catch up, don't forget you can press pause as you go through. In our first example, we're going to use those same numbers, but we're going to add in a variable. 8x plus 32. So what we want to do, this is called reverse distributive, because we want to take this and make it look like something we did yesterday. So we started with parentheses yesterday and went to a distributive version. So we want to go from here to there. We want to make it go backwards. So let's look. We've got to pull out a GCF. Well, we know from up here that's 8 for 32 and 8. So I put my 8 out here. But this is 8x divided by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1, but we got that x left over. And we do not write a coefficient of 1. I can see 1x right there. So no 1 in front of it. Then 32 divided by 8 is 4. But how do we write this factoring now? Our GCF goes on the outside of the parentheses, and what's left over goes on the inside. And we keep our sign the same. This is what we called the factored version, because we have factored out that GCF. Now you should never ever get a factoring question wrong, because you can check it. So we can check it by using the distributive property. 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 4 is 32. Keep our sign. If we get back to where we started, we did it correct. This is called the distributed version, because we have distributed the 8 to each thing inside. So we got back to where we started, so our answer right here was correct. This is just us checking our work. This is the answer, the factored version. So let's do one more together. Let's try one more example here. 3y plus 18. So I want to factor it. I want to pull something out so that I have a factor on the outside and a set of parentheses, a factored expression. So I'm going to slide something out of here. I know that 18 and 3 share 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1y. Remember, we never write a coefficient of 1. 18 divided by 3 is 6. What's on the outside goes on the outside. What's left over goes in the parentheses. We keep our sign the same. Remember, you're going to see these words in the activities today. This is the factored version because we have factored something out. But we can always check it. This is our answer, but we can check it. We should never ever get a factor question wrong. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times 6 is 18. So check, I got back to where I started. That is the distributed version. You're going to see those terms today quite a bit. So our answer of 3 parentheses y plus 6 was correct. Now I want you to divide the bottom part of your paper into 6 boxes. So that we can complete a couple examples. There you go. You're ready to click next and try your examples.